Why didn't you give them notice and move out?
Because I cannot just pop up and leave. I was there 3 years due to the fact that it was hard to find things. First of all, 2020, of course, was just a hard year. And then 2019, I'm a single parent of 3 disabled children. I have to have that time to go look for things on internets and out and about. And that's why I have her to help me. But at the end of the day, they're telling you that they sent text messages. Yeah, they sent text messages day of, and then you can't do that. I'm a single parent.
Okay, if they're getting notified on day 1 and they're by you, and then on day 2 they're responding, I mean that's about as quick as somebody can respond.
No, they didn't. If you listen,
we're gonna look
I
carefully,
notified them in December. They notified me in February. How was that day 1?
I don't know. You didn't show us that you notified them in December.
I did not show you, but I told you, and they agreed to it.
I don't have any further questions. So we are going to excuse you at this time while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you all.
The key issue that we have to resolve, I think, is whether or not the damages are attributable to things that the plaintiff did or were either pre-existing or as a result of negligence by the landlords. I found the landlord's testimony to be quite credible. I found their responsiveness quite appropriate. For example, charging only 20% of the cost to replace, I think was a very reasonable way of trying to keep the damages down and not to exploit the situation.
I found the defendants very credible. I didn't think that the plaintiff was able to convince me by any amount of proof that what she was saying is correct. When I look at these 2 drawers, and you say, no wonder there were cockroaches and rodents, and this damage under here. I mean, she damaged the property. So I see that everything that they're asking for is reasonable, and the defendant's testimony to me was very credible.
Yeah, I think you've got to look at all of this evidence and all of these pictures in their totality. I mean, right? So you can't just isolate the underneath the sink. She says it was water damage, as you pointed out. I mean, that picture of the drawers, the way that they left the premises, to me, it all tells a story about this tenancy. So, yeah, there were some dead rodents, but they might have been attracted by all of that grime.
I could see them wanting to live there.
Yeah, I found the defendants very credible. I think that they were on it. I think they tried to respond to these concerns. So I would dismiss the complaint.
That's how I feel as well.
We have a verdict.
This court is again in session.
All right, we've reached a verdict. It's unanimous. And we've looked at the evidence on both sides. And we have a couple of observations to make before I render my verdict. First of all, you alleged that they fabricated the damages. Under the law, you have the burden of proof. You have the responsibility of persuading us that they did this. And given the testimony of the defendants that they went through a walkthrough with you, that they have given us an inventory which they gave you of what the damages were, then that they even made an effort to apportion the value of the damages or what they were going to charge you. For example, for the granite sink, they didn't charge you for everything with respect to that. They charged you 20% of what it cost them to replace it. Now, if they were fabricating, it would probably have been more reasonable for them to say, okay, I'm going to charge you for the whole granite. But that effort supported their credibility in terms of their responsiveness to the issues that you raised. And we cannot find that they acted negligently, given the evidence that's before us. So unfortunately, your complaint is dismissed. That's the verdict of the court.